We found that with respect to the happiness of the experiencing self. When we looked at how feelings vary with income. And it turns out that below an income of $60,000 a year for Americans, and that's a very large sample of Americans, like 600,000. So it's a large representative sample. Below an income of $600,000 a year.
60,000.
60,000. Yeah. $60,000 a year, people are unhappy, and they get progressively unhappier the poorer they get. Above that, we get an absolutely flat line. I mean, I've rarely seen lines so flat. Clearly what is happening is money does not buy you experiential happiness, but lack of money certainly buys you misery. And we can measure that misery very, very clearly. In terms of the other self, the remembering self, you get a different story. The more money you are, the more satisfied you are. That does not hold for emotions.
But Danny, the whole American endeavor is about, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. If people took seriously that finding, I mean, it seems to turn upside down everything we believe about, like, for example, taxation, policy, and so forth. Is there any chance that politicians, that the country generally, would take a finding like that seriously and run public policy based on it?
I think that there is recognition of the role of happiness research in public policy. The recognition is going to be slow in the United States, no question about that. But in the UK, it is happening, and in other countries, it is happening. People are recognizing that they ought to be thinking of policy, of happiness, when they think of public policy. It's going to take a while. And it's not going to, and people are going to debate whether they want to study experience happiness or whether they want to study life evaluation, so we need to have that debate fairly soon. How to enhance happiness goes very different ways depending on how you think, and whether you think of the remembering self or you think of the experiencing self. This is going to influence policy, I think, in years to come. In the United States, efforts are being made to measure the experience happiness of the population. This is going to be, I think, within the next decade or two, part of national statistics.
Well, it seems to me that this issue will, or at least should be, the most interesting policy discussion to track over the next few years. Thank you so much for inventing behavioral economics. Thank you, Danny Kahneman.
We only succeed because we have really good, really smart people.
The technology, the ideas, how you bring them to bear, how you scale them up, how you make them real is from the people.
I'm an engineer. I work in early stage cell culture.
I'm a senior scientist in the Department of Molecular Oncology and Research.
Senior supervisor for the manufacturing plant in Vacaville.
I'm working cell culture, process development.
I'm a functional manager within the PD development group.
What I do supports Access Solutions, which is the part of the company that works directly with patients.
A group head of project management.
I manage a group of system architects at Genentech.
No one person is any more important than any other person.
Even the most senior people are always willing to engage in scientific discussions with you.
Genentech has a teaching culture. We tap on the shoulder the people who are the smartest functional experts in their area.
When I first visited Genentech, it was so clear that patients were something that people thought about every day. There's a real sense that you're doing something that has a purpose.
Everyone here has their own story and has their own reason for being here.
It means a tremendous amount to me to be able to work on developing products that help save lives.
My brother was diagnosed with leukemia, and I lost him to that battle.
My youngest sister who had a breast cancer, and unfortunately she was overseas and unable to access medications like Genentech provides, and she passed away from cancer.
To know that something I do really could make a difference and be meaningful in someone else's life, I think we all seek meaning in our life in different ways. And for me, this place offers that. Why I show up every day is the big C, is to try to solve that mystery. I would love to.
What I've witnessed at Genentech is this unrelenting desire to make sure we deliver and we act and behave and make decisions with the patient in mind.
Whether you're discovering the drug or whether you're packaging the drug, you're all part of this concept.
Genentech does a fantastic job of communicating the big picture, how the science, just pure academic science, ultimately becomes a drug that's administered to a patient in the clinic.
Oh, it's a fantastic place. Genentech has so much to offer.
It's a great place to start your career, continue it, and finish it here. You know, there's so much to do here.
I'm excited when I'm putting on the steel-toed shoes, walking through the manufacturing plant, because I know what I'm doing is making a difference.
I get to actually do something that goes into the drug that is ultimately administered to a patient.
I love coming to work.
It feels good to be here.
It's knowing every day that you come to work, you're doing something that touched somebody's life.